The amount of inlet area, or how much window needs to open, is based on the age of the house. For a brand new house, the idea being that a brand new house is built to be much more airtight than an old house. We use a 2.5% of the inlet area times the square foot is how much we would need. So for a 2,000 square foot house, we would need 50 square feet of inlet to create passive ventilation. And of course, a multi-story house is going to be ideal. Now this calculation was done for the whole house. You could also do it by the room. So if I had a 200 square foot room, 2.5% of that is going to be 5 feet of inlet. And if it were a smaller room, say 100 square feet, I would have a 2.5 square feet of inlet required. And if you remember, we can get better airflow when we have a smaller inlet area than the exhaust. So if I have 2.5 feet open window in the room, I would need, in that 100 square foot room, I would have another window that was open that would be larger than 2.5 feet in order to encourage that airflow. And it should be on an opposite wall, or at least perpendicular, if not through an open door and a second story window open. For an older house that's had upgrades, so there's new windows and doors, insulation, maybe some other caulking and weather stripping, we use 5% as our number. So instead of 2.5, we use 5%. In this example, using the same square footage of 2,000 square feet, 5% of 2,000 square feet gives us 100 square feet of inlet that would be required for passive ventilation of the total house. As I mentioned, this can also be done by the room. So for 5% of a 2,000 square foot room is 10%, 10 square feet of inlet. And for a more modest 100 square foot room, a 10 by 10 room, you would need 5 square feet of inlet. For an old house that's had no upgrades, we need a larger inlet area. In this case, we need 7.5% inlet area multiplied by the square foot. If we were using the same square footage as the other houses, 7.5% of 2,000 square feet is 150 square feet of inlet. It's quite a bit more to get an ideal passive ventilation. If we were again looking at that smaller room, the 100 square foot room, 7.5% means that we would have to have 7.5 square feet of opening of inlet to get passive ventilation to work adequately. The reason for this is that the leakier the house, the bigger the inlet area needs to be. Another way to put that is that the tighter the house, the less outside air is required to create the positive convection airflow required for passive ventilation. With a tight house, we have more control. With an old house, where there's more air infiltration happening throughout the entire building envelope, we need to have a larger inlet area. And remember, we also need to have where the air is exhausting to be larger as well in order to create those convective air currents that are needed to get some good positive convective airflow.